In today's video, I find out if the only specialty dining aboard the Carnival Paradise is worth the $100 price tag. Let's check out the chef's table. Our chef's table dinner began in the main atrium. Myself and 4 other couples met up with the executive sous chef Jamal, where we had to sign a waiver talking about how we were feeling. This really felt like a questionnaire that was asked post-shutdown, if you know what I mean. And at first I was confused as to why this was a thing, but shortly after, Chef Jamal walked us through the main dining room and into the galley. We were told to wash our hands, and then we toured this meticulous kitchen. After we walked around for a little bit and saw where all the magic happened, then we were introduced to Paul, the pastry chef, who showed us how simple the Carnival chocolate melting cake was to make. After that, we left the galley and headed to the library where our table was waiting. Now, I was on my own, but everyone else that I was with had their significant others with them, so they sat the couples across from each other, which definitely made it more romantic. Now, this was a solo cruise for me, so I was joined by my camera. Chef Jamal then again reintroduced himself and told us a little about his background and about the culinary experience that we were about to enjoy. This dinner consists of many different courses with some of the most delicious little morsels I have ever tasted. Not only was the flavor phenomenal, its presentation and texture was also really intriguing. More than once I thought I knew what I was about to experience and was surprised by what I found. After a champagne toast to start us off, we were presented with our first plate. This consisted of the double marinated beef on some savory toast, as well as a small dish of lobster and crab meat with a crab claw shaped cracker, so think tuna or chicken salad. It was a very good starter, and it was a fun presentation with the crab claw cracker. Our second plate was a rock shrimp in a raspberry chutney and green apple aioli with a small chia seed crisp next to a piece of Brazilian cheese bread topped with some prosciutto and baconaise. Yes, that's right, baconaise. That is bacon-flavored mayonnaise. The rock shrimp was really good. That raspberry chutney and green apple aioli really added a nice fruit flavor to the shrimp, but honestly, that Brazilian bread was top-notch. I could have had 10 more of those things. They're so good. I love going to the Brazilian steakhouse for that warm, cheesy bread. It's super, super good. So the next plate was a beautifully presented tomato elegance. Now this looks like a tomato on the plate, but the tomato is actually what's underneath. The thing that looks like a tomato is actually made out of cheese, and they aerated the whey to make that foam, which it was very interesting. This dish was paired with a donut that was made out of pears, walnuts, and gorgonzola cheese. It was a really great flavor profile. It was very crispy, but then really, really good because, of course, cheese. Need I say more? Now, before we go on to the next course, I'd like to take the moment to invite you to subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get to 5,000 subscribers, and your subscription will take me there. So please subscribe to the channel if you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain, or if you like cruising. Anyways, back to the video. Next was the bread plate, which was kind of a signal that we had stopped with the appetizers and are moving on to the entrees. This bread plate had 2 pieces of bread, a multigrain and a traditional sourdough, and it came with 2 different types of butter, a truffle oil butter and a caramelized onion butter. Now this was a very simple plate that was a nice palate cleanser and reset. Then we moved on to the entrees. The first plate was an over 4-hour braised Berkshire pork belly, which had these small pieces of ham and cabbage wrapped up on one side, and on the other side some pineapple compote. And then the whole thing was topped with a shallot sherry jus. Now, I had the pork belly in 3 different ways. I kind of tried the pork belly just by itself, which was delicious. Then I tried it with the pineapple compote, which was really good, plus the fruit kind of reminded me of like a pineapple ham pizza, and then with the ham and cabbage as well. Every single bite was really savory and delicious. Next to this, there was this very interesting side of carbonara that had been baked in a mold to create this kind of crunchy texture, crunchy outside but warm spaghetti inside. It was a really great texture. Like, the whole dish was phenomenal and probably my favorite of the entire meal. Now, next was the sea bass, and at first glance you see the scales that are still on the fish, but upon closer examination those are actually smoked baby zucchini slices, and the whole thing is sitting in a bath with some edamame beans, and I believe the sauce was made from white asparagus. This was a very super light and flaky fish with very light flavors all around, the smooth, creamy citrus blend that was really, really nice. And next to that was a dish that was very intriguing. So what looked like a little egg on a bed of charcoal is a semolina puff, which is like a flour, super fragile flour puff with Peruvian ceviche and shrimp scampi on the inside. And then that was on top of a bed of squid ink dyed yuca that had been dehydrated to look like charcoal. It was a very, very cool presentation, and we were instructed to take the semolina puff in one bite, and it was a burst of citrusy seafood flavors that I honestly really enjoyed. Next, we had a palate cleanser of 11 sherbet. Under that was a green apple and celery granita. And then, of course, next to this is the lightest melt-in-your-mouth meringue brittle. I struggled to get the meringue on my spoon because it was so incredibly brittle. But the lemon, super concentrated, which was very, very refreshing. And the granita, which was underneath it, was also just really clean. Think of like cucumber water, how it's got that like really crispness. That's what this felt like. It was very, very good. Now, after the palate cleanser, they brought in a magician to entertain us for a little while, which usually I can kind of figure out how a magic trick is done, but some of these tricks that he did that were from across the room were honestly really astounding, and we were all really entertained. After he left, we were all just chatting about how we think that he did it. I mean, we were scheming, trying to figure it out. But then came the final entree, which was the 6-hour braised short rib, topped with roasted onions and sitting on an emulsion of cream, red wine, and white wine and shallots. Then there were the side of these two pieces of something. I can't remember. They were kind of like a bread, but they had a very earthy, beefy flavor to them. And then next to this was a small morel, which is technically a mushroom, but this one was artificially made from black garlic and shiitake mushrooms. And then there was a very fine wine jus drizzled on top. This was a very savory, earthy dish, and it was good, but it wasn't my favorite. The textures were a little simple, and nothing really stood out to me, but the flavor was really strong in its savoriness. Now, after the delicious dinner came the final course, dessert. This was called the Tropical, and it is a mixture of mango, coconut, and passion fruit with some roasted berries, some gold-dusted chocolate, and some almond crumble. It was super rich and fruity, but in all the right ways. And interestingly enough, it also had avocado in it. Now, if you ate the avocado alone, I could close my eyes and think I was eating guacamole. But if you mixed it with the fruit, it took some of the edge of the fruit away and kind of smoothed it out so it wasn't so tart. Overall, a really good dish. Overall, I think the dinner was really good value for the money. The courses were smaller, but there was a ton of them, so I left quite full. Now, I don't really drink, but they did have drinks like champagne and wine there as part of the dinner at no additional cost. And honestly, the staff were so cordial, so helpful. I have to say, Executive Chef Jamal was very knowledgeable, and he had so many things to say about all these dishes. You could definitely tell that Jamal and his staff had a passion for the culinary arts, and it really showed in this dinner. Now, this being the only specialty dining on the Paradise, I wish they had at least maybe one more option like the steakhouse, but it is a small ship, so if you are interested in any of the other specialty dining that Carnival offers or any other cruise lines, I will leave a link to a playlist of all of my specialty dining reviews from any of the ships that I have been on. So thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. My name is Rob with Here Today, Where Tomorrow, and I will see you there. If you like this video and want to see more, please head on over to the channel and subscribe. And if you want to get notified, ring that little bell. We upload new videos every week.